Thanks, Eddie. Well, the New South Wales government has had a small win in the ongoing train strikes after the Fair Work Commission issued an interim order preventing further industrial action on Sydney's rail network. This means commuters will be spared more chaos after 2 days of cancellations and long delays. However, the fight is far from over, with both the government and union to appear in court again next week. But what is this all costing our city's businesses? Well, joining me to discuss now is Business New South Wales Executive Director David Harding. Good morning to you. You must be somewhat relieved that the Fair Work Commission has now ordered the union to stop its action, but quantify for us, if you can, the impact, the cost of this action.
Well, the cost has been estimated by our economics team as up to 97 million a day. And I think the point to take away here is this is disproportionately affecting small business, mum and dad businesses. Hard workers across Sydney are really innocent bystanders in this fight. And although the stay is very welcome, of course, it's very much interim and the damage goes on.
Look, David, we don't want to see anyone actually getting ripped off, but do you have any sympathy at all for this wage claim by these rail workers?
Well, 14% feels very reasonable to me. I think they need to take what seems to be a reasonable offer and get back to work. Right,
so the case has now been kicked down the road. We're going to head to the Fair Work Commission. In that interim time, what's that going to mean for businesses slowly coming back online?
Well, confidence has been taken out of the picture. We don't know whether we're going to get our trains back on Wednesday next week or Thursday next week or Friday next week. And for small businesses, that's very important. There's lots of confidence. There's a loss of bookings. People are no longer booking restaurants. They're pulling away from their trip planned to the city. And that has a real impact on cost. And then there's the cost of moving people around. Small businesses are actually having to pay for their staff to come to work via Uber and so on. And so the sooner we get all of this out the way, we get the train system back to work, we get our great city back, and we help our small businesses back on their feet.
David, you've been collecting those examples of these small businesses, these mum and dad businesses, and you've been collecting those examples to give to the government in their fight against the unions here. What are you hearing from these businesses?
Well, we're hearing that they're very directly impacted. We're hearing that the trains, of course, provide the lifeblood to our city, and without them, or with a reduced service or an inconsistent service, people just aren't going to the city. Incidentally, we think there's about 50% less footfall across the CBD during these train interruptions, and that really hits the cafes, it hits the small restaurants, it hits the entertainment industry and so on. It hits them really hard. That's what we're hearing.
Yeah, people are crying out for a resolution now. It's heading back to the Fair Work Commission next week. Thanks for your time.